Today is Monday. It's the 27th of July, and this is Here First from Iowa Public Radio. I'm Michael Leland. Iowa will not be going first in the 2028 Democratic presidential nominating cycle. IPR's Isabella Liu reports the party has again chosen a southern state.
National Democrats chose South Carolina to go first in 2028. Nevada and New Hampshire would follow. Some Iowa Democratic leaders have previously suggested throwing their own early caucuses despite the schedule change. But shortly after the announcement, Iowa Democratic Party Chair Rita Hart says going rogue is not a top priority for the state party right now.
I would say that is a conversation that is not doesn't need to be taking place right now. When we get to November and we have some newly elected Democratic officials, they're going to have some things to say about that, along with the rest of our Democrats.
The calendar still has to be approved by the full DNC that's slated to meet next month. I'm Isabella Liu, IPR News.
Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Josh Turek says he believes Iowa should still be first in the nation for the 2028 presidential nominating schedule. Iowa Democrats lost that long-standing first-in-the-nation position following technical failures in the 2020 Iowa caucuses. Turek says having the caucuses first of the nation has historically helped lead to the nomination of Democrats like Barack Obama.
It's a beautiful, unique process that only we here in Iowa, and I think Iowa, we've done a great job of nominating great candidates like President Obama. And so look, Iowa law is clear. We go first.
Turek faces Republican U.S. Representative Ashley Hinson in the election on November 3rd. Over the weekend, Hinson said she'd like to pursue additional restrictions on social media and AI to protect kids. IPR's Natalie Krebs with that story.
U.S. Congresswoman Hinson hosted a roundtable with Texas Senator Ted Cruz over the weekend about keeping kids safe on the internet. Hinson says she'd like to look into regulating chatbots that interact with children to make sure they're not encouraging behavior like suicidal ideation or giving them incorrect medical advice.
That's the new frontier dealing with AI and the challenge that we are frankly struggling to keep up with on the policy side because it's moved so fast and advanced so quickly, trying to figure out how we rein that in so that we're not limiting everything, but we make sure we protect our kids from nefarious actors or nefarious technology.
Hinson faces Democratic State Representative Josh Turek in the general election on November 3rd. I'm Natalie Krebs, IPR News.
Some agriculture groups say a Supreme Court ruling last month that sided with Roundup manufacturer Bayer is a big loss for farmers. The court found Bayer is not responsible for providing a cancer warning label to the popular weed killer. That derails tens of thousands of pending lawsuits claiming Roundup caused cancer and failed to warn users. Aaron Lehman is the president of the Iowa Farmers Union. He remembers using Roundup to spot treat weeds on his family farm.
This ruling just makes it so much harder for our farmers to use the court system to defend their health. And it creates a disincentive for the manufacturers to make safe, effective herbicides that farmers need.
Attorneys say there are some paths forward for people to sue, but the cases will be harder to win. A well-known Islamic scholar and community leader in Cedar Rapids has died. The Cedar Rapids Gazette reports that Imam Taha Tawil died Friday at the age of 66. Tawil came to Cedar Rapids in 1983 to serve as imam for the Islamic Center of Cedar Rapids. He was among the co-founders of the Cedar Rapids Interfaith Alliance. He also championed the restoration of the Mother Mosque of America in Cedar Rapids and served as director of the Islamic Council of Iowa. Here first from Iowa Public Radio, I'm Michael Leland. Water quality has become a bigger part of the public conversation in Iowa as the Des Moines Metro and smaller communities around the state grapple with high nitrate levels. Many homeowners are concerned about their health and are looking into reverse osmosis to filter out these contaminants. IPR's Rachel Kramer has the story.
So it is just out of the way here.
Oh, okay. Katie Turpin shows me a reverse osmosis system in the basement of her home in Des Moines. The system forces tap water through a series of specialized filters and black canisters mounted on the wall. The treated water goes into a 5-gallon holding tank.
And then the tank has lines to my kitchen sink and to the refrigerator.
Turpin paid a contractor thousands of dollars to install this system last year to reduce nitrates in her drinking water and what she gives her pets. The difference is visible. She dips a color-changing test strip into a glass of water from her kitchen faucet. It turns a pale pink.
Okay.
And another goes into water from her basement tap, not connected to the system. That one looks like a raspberry stain, suggesting much higher levels of nitrate.
Makes me very glad that I have the reverse osmosis system, and I have zero guilt about the money that I spent on it. But it also makes me concerned for people that don't have it.
Nitrates are a plant nutrient that forms naturally in the environment, but Iowa has excess amounts in its waterways, largely due to the amount of fertilizer and manure spread on farm fields. While public drinking water systems are required to keep nitrate concentrations below a federal legal limit, research indicates lower levels of nitrate in drinking water can increase risks for things like colorectal cancer, thyroid disease, and neural tube defects. Turpin thinks a lot about prevention as a healthcare provider.
And with the cancer numbers going up in Iowa, I wanted to do everything that I could to just take some steps to keep myself healthy.
David Swertney directs the Center for Health Effects of Environmental Contamination at the University of Iowa. He describes reverse osmosis as straining spaghetti, but with a very efficient filter.
It is about the most effective treatment process we have for removing a wide range of chemical contaminants.
But Swertney says the effectiveness of these systems depends on whether they're certified to remove specific contaminants. And consumers should be aware that they use more water and need maintenance.
Those are all brand new systems ready to go out.
Steve Murtha is CEO of Colgan Des Moines, which installs and services reverse osmosis systems. He says they need routine maintenance, just like a car.
You'll visit customers sometimes that haven't changed filters in 4 or 5 years. Okay. And it's like, just because there's water coming out of there doesn't mean it's working. Because your filters could be shot and it's not doing what it's supposed to.
Colleen Fowle is the water program director for the Iowa Environmental Council. She says in-home reverse osmosis is something that comes up frequently at meetings they've held around the state to talk about cancer and environmental risks. One challenge is the price, which can swing from a few $100s to thousands of dollars.
The cost of purchasing and installing and maintaining equipment like this is beyond the reach of many families in Iowa. And so that sets up inequities between the families that can afford it and the families that cannot.
Fowle says Iowa could subsidize systems for homeowners like some other states that help people with contaminated wells. But she says lawmakers could do more by starting at the source.
We really need to think about eliminating the pollution to begin with rather than asking downstream users to modify their drinking water systems.
Fowle says nitrates are becoming a bigger issue for utilities and Iowans concerned about their health. Water quality is even something the candidates for governor are talking about this year. She's hopeful 2026 could be a turning point. I'm Rachel Kramer, IPR News.
And that's your first from Iowa Public Radio. I'm Michael Leland. Have a great day and stay cool.